How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to episode 6 of the Sick Podcast with your host, That Leafs Fan. And for one, we have a game that actually matters to talk about. But before I get into that, producer, roll the tape.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to the Sick Podcast. With That Leafs Fan.
They score! They score! Holy mackerel, they score! Morgan Riley! Mo Riley! The Leafs have won it! They're going to the second round! Do you believe this? Holy mackerel!
The sickest Toronto Maple Leafs podcast. It's gonna be sick.
Welcome back to another episode, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys are doing well, and I hope that you enjoyed that. Doesn't it feel good? The season is here, ladies and gentlemen. The season is here. Preseason's done. We're on to meaningful hockey games. And oh my God, did we get an NHL debut, or season opener, should I say, between the Toronto Maple Leafs and Les Canadiens de Montréal. What a hockey game that was. There is so much to talk about. There was 11 goals, actually 10 goals in this game because it went to a shootout. There's a lot of sharp points that I'm going to talk about and a lot of things that pissed me off about this game. And then kind of like a recap and summing up what the hell is going on here. All right. So let's get into the game. Montreal and Toronto starting their season versus each other, the longest spanning rivalry in the NHL. And it is a horrible start to the game for the Leafs. We are expecting these guys to come out the gate absolutely flying, and we've seen it time and time again. I've already talked about it. I feel like this is only episode 6, and I've already said this about 11 times. This team does not start games on time, and I swear to God, if I have to keep saying this in every single game, I'm gonna lose my shit, because a hockey game is 60 minutes. All right. I know the Leafs won this game, first of all, but like I said, I have a lot of things to get off my chest. Sure. They got to start on time. That first 5 minutes was awful. Awful. What was that? Where were they? Did you guys not notice the ref drop the puck? The time starting to go? Where were you guys? What happened? How are we going down 2-0 that early? Anyway, so that's the first thing that made me go absolutely bananas. First goal that the Habs scored, the most Leaf-like start to a game. Summing up the first 5 minutes, TJ Brody shoots himself in the foot and just falls backward. And Jake Evans is just gone, and he finishes it with a really, really nice snipe. Deacon, the goalie, on Samsonov, who really didn't have a sharp game. But I don't want to be too harsh on the boys. I know I'm very into my emotions right now from the game that just finished. I'm just excited that hockey's finally having meaningful games. I'm excited that there's now points involved because preseason didn't have any of that. But so I know I might be going a bit too intense, but I'm going to do it anyway. Samsonov did not look sharp in this one. They weren't all, I'm not going to say it was his fault because it wasn't. It's the first game. It's normal. But I feel like it's going to take him a few games to settle in here, because this game, the Leafs outshot the Habs by nearly double, I want to say. And both teams scored the same amount of goals, and you can't have that. We need him to be better. He made like a few nice saves, but it just seemed like he didn't track the puck nearly as well. I noticed him like kind of not sure where the puck was in the play, and it was already like in the net. And I was like, how are you? Maybe it was the screening. Maybe the defense weren't doing a good enough job. I thought the Leafs played a god-awful sloppy first period. It was really brutal to watch. I was raging. They go down by 1. They go into intermission, only down 1. So you'd expect, after that absolute muffin start, that they're going to come out in the second period ready to play. I'm going to say it again. Start the fucking period on time, please. Like, when the puck is dropped at center ice, be ready, guys. I don't care that it's the first game of the season. Be ready. It's simple. You're gonna make mistakes, but like, be ready. The Habs come out again in the first minute or two. I forget what time it is that they scored. 3-on-1. And they get a goal. 2-0 for the Canadians, and we're just in a hole right now and no idea what's going on. Then something fun happens. Something we all expected to see. Ryan Reeves. He was going around the ice, laid out a few really nice checks. One kind of questionable on Gooley. I heard some people saying it was dirty. I heard others saying it wasn't. Look, I think it was a bit intense. Maybe they didn't have to lean into it that hard, but it was kind of like Gooley kind of turned to face the board. It wasn't like he cross-checked him in the numbers like it was, but it wasn't the greatest hit. I'm not going to sit here and say that it was. And Arber Xhekaj immediately gloves off on the floor. This guy is ready to go, and they start the bout. And it really much of a fight, to be honest. Xhekaj just looked extremely pissed off that he just hit his partner, and he just shoved Reeves through the net. So I guess some people are going to say Xhekaj won that fight. I personally don't think it was much of a fight. I think it was more of Xhekaj just answering the bell and just, yeah, he kind of won the battle. I wouldn't really call it a fight, but that happens. And then that's kind of where a little shift in momentum happened with Toronto, which is what I think is the only reason we brought Reeves in for literal things like that. The team was flatline garbage in the first period completely, and even to start the second, flat foot garbage. All right, and he comes in, lays out a few checks, gets into a fight, and looks at the crowd and is like, all right, let's go, guys. Let's wake up. The game has started. Can we start playing? Let's go, boys. And immediately after, the Habs almost made it 3-0. That was offside. I don't want to argue it. It was close, but by the book, that was offside. Habs almost made it 3-0. Sheldon Keefe challenges, which is something they've been very good at calling. Shout out to the coaching staff who or the management who takes care of making that decision whether they want to challenge or not, because they have been like, I think they're like 15 for 16 on challenges, which is huge. So the game manages to stay a game and keep it at 2-0, thankfully. So it could have been 3-0, but then the Leafs come back the other way. Noah Gregor, who just signed a contract with the Leafs at League Min, if I'm not mistaken, playing on the fourth line, which was like the only line worth talking about in the first 25 minutes of this one, comes down on the left, rips a shot off the post and in, far side. Really nice shot. Really happy that players in the depth chart were getting it done. But I hope this sent a message to the guys, and I really think it did. The fourth line was just the only team showing remotely like any care for this game in the first half. And I think the moment that Gregor scored that is when the momentum really shifted for the first time, because the momentum shifted many times, but we'll get to that. So now it's 2-1. They lead a power play because they keep pushing. They end up on a power play. And Austin Matthews scores his first of many tonight. And I'm just saying, I did call it. It's early, I know, but I'm just saying to any of those who doubted me, I told you so. This guy is going to be different this year. But anyways, Matthews scores a pretty nice snipe. Allen almost getting it, but off the short side on the right, Matthews in his opposite side rips a shot, and his celebration was beautiful. That guy had emotion finally for the first fucking player on the team other than the fourth line showing remotely anything, which was nice to see. So the Leafs bring it back in a game that they do not deserve to be in. Toronto, look, Leaf fans, let's be honest with ourselves here. Toronto is a much better team than the Canadians. We had no business being in this game at all. In terms of who deserved the game more, I'm going to say it flat out. Up until like the 30-minute mark of this game, Habs should have won this game like 9 out of 10 times, and they deserve 10 out of 10 of them. Like, and I'm not going to sit here and argue. As a Habs fan, like, you guys should be pretty happy with the performance. Like, you guys actually played a full game, and it's just the Leafs are a better team than the Canadians. The games should not the game should not have been this close. Like if the Leafs played a 60-minute game, the game would not have been this close. And kudos to the Habs. Hats off to you guys. They played a full game and they did what they can with the assets that they have. And they took advantage of the mistakes and they kept. That's the way that a type of team like this, who is in a rebuild, is going to have to find ways to win. Whereas teams like Toronto, I feel like they know they're good, but like sometimes that kind of just it screws with us. It's like, don't think that you can play 20 minutes out of 60 and win. That shouldn't be a thing. That's been the main reason. That's been one of the main struggles, not starting on time, and it all goes hand in hand. Not starting the game on time, not starting the period on time, and just not being locked in 60 minutes on 60 minutes. That's not how I want to see this team win. I want to see them win a game that they played the entire thing, not just like, and there's going to be momentum shifts. But anyways, that was something that really frustrated me. And again, hats off to the Habs for at least for them playing a full game. I thought they played pretty well for what they could have done. But the Leafs end up getting another power play. They already got one down with Matthews. This time, it's on the other side. William Nylander, now on his opposing angle, rips a shot. Another power play goal. It's up 3-2. Now I was doing a TikTok stream live reacting to this game, and I don't know if some of you guys were in that stream. Like, even when the Leafs took the lead, I was mad. And that's the problem with us Leaf fans, honestly, is that we want everything to be perfect, and it never is. But I was just, I was mad because I know, like, why weren't they playing like this the whole game? Where was this? Like, you guys could have been up 3-0 if you started the game on time playing like this. You know what I mean? And that's what really got me nervous. But then I'm like, you know what? This is where my level-headedness came back into play. I'm like, okay, it's the first game of the season. Let's take it easy here. You know, it's only the beginning, literally. But the Leafs come out in the second, off to a flat start again, but they managed to claw their way back into the game and regain control of the game, taking a 3-2 lead off of 2 power play goals, which was really nice to see. I thought the power play in the first, because they did have an opportunity, it was really too like princess. Like these guys were passing way too much and just not shooting. And you saw in the second when they started actually just doing maybe 1 to 2 or 3 passes instead of like 6, 7, or 8, way more efficient. You don't need these like highlight reel goals. Just make sure the puck goes in the damn net and you get a goal on the scoreboard for you guys. That's really all that matters. I promise you, 99% of real hockey fans do not give a shit how that puck goes in the net. As long as that puck goes in the net, oh, we're smiling. That's it. So I think that's something that when you have a lot of talent, things like this, it's kind of where you're like so talented that it almost starts to regress, where there's so much star power on one line that you don't know who's controlling this. Like, who is going to be the guy who shoots it? Who's going to be the guy making the plays? Who's going to be the quarterback of this? They can all do all the positions, which sometimes complicates it because now you have too many options. And when you have too many options in life, you know what I mean? So I thought that the first few opportunities kind of a letdown, and then you started to see that they kind of get back into it, started to establish some like chemistry with amongst each other, and kind of clicked back into the power play they ended the season with last year. That was really like doesn't give the other team many opportunities to do anything, and making the team pay for their mistakes and pay for their penalties, which is something that's huge. That's the best way to answer. When someone takes a penalty on you, the way to make him pay is by putting the puck in the net. And they did that twice. So it was nice to see. They head into the game they head into the intermission. If I'm not mistaken, honestly, there was so much that happened in this game. Point is, they don't hold this lead for too long. They had about, like I said, the 15-minute where they really started to take control of the game, and the shots were like initially like 13-13, and then it just went to like 26-13. Like they were just dominant when they started playing, and then the game kind of left them again, and the Habs kind of started to claw back and just keep pressing and keep trying to force mistakes and try to take advantage of opportunities, and they do exactly that and tie the game 3-3. And now it becomes the dogfight, and this is these last I don't even know where to go for this game. I'm realizing I'm talking about so much, and it feels like I'm talking about a season. This was the first game, guys. Oh my. Oh my. Leafs and Habs games, man. I swear. I don't care if it's the preseason, first game of the season, or game 7 in the playoffs. They are always entertaining as hell. It doesn't make sense. But anyways, um the Habs somehow manage to score 3 unanswered goals the other way, and now they end up with a 5-3 lead. And at this point, I am like moments away from taking my remote and smashing my TV on night 1 of the Leafs NHL 23-24 season. Reason being is because, like I was saying before, we know what this team is capable of. And when they just stop playing, oh, it's brutal to watch, man. It's brutal to watch. Like the lack of there was like a 10-minute span where they were grinding and playing hella good, and they outshot the Habs 13-0. And after that 10 minutes, about to the last like 5-minute mark of the game, oof, it was not looking good for them. They were just out of it again. It's like they started the game, oof, then they dominated, and then it went right back to the oof. And they paid for it. At least so. You're not going to win a hockey game like that in the NHL. Every team is good. No matter that there's teams at the top of the standings versus the teams at the lower one, every NHL team is capable of winning a hockey game, and the Habs were taking advantage of exactly that, keeping in the game because they have to, and they retake the lead off of, honestly, some, again, really sloppy goals. Some of them were soft on Samsonov, but again, it's the first game. Like, I don't expect perfection at all. The thing I wanted to focus on the most was really just the whole point of this team has to stop shooting themselves in the foot, man. Like, fucking hell. If you just played the whole game, man, I can just recap this game nice and easy. We take it easy. I still have my nails by the end of the night. I don't feel like heat like pressing across my entire forehead and my brain and all this sweat. And I got a shower after watching a hockey game on my couch. Like, why did you have to put me through that? It was entertaining as hell. Entertainment value 10 out of 10. 100% 10 out of 10. But Leafs are down 5-3, 3 minutes left. And as you know it, the Leafs are like, you know what? Maybe we should start playing again. And none other than the guy I talked about, Austin Matthews, makes it 5-4 and makes it 5-5, getting a hat trick for his 8th career hat trick, I think it is. First hat trick of the season in the first game, 3 goals. And guys, I'm telling you, I said it in previous episodes. I wasn't kidding. Matthews is going to take a step this year. You saw it, man. When he decided to take the game into his own hands, there was nothing, and I mean nothing, anyone on the other team could have done about it. I don't care if you're the goalie, if you're the first pairing defenseman, if you're the coach, if you're the fans. When that guy wants to get it done, from what I saw at least, he's going to get it done. I'm excited to see that, man. I thought the top 4 did what they had to do, led by Matthews. Marner was a little quiet. I thought Tavares and Nylander, fucking hell, for full control throughout the game, for a large portion of it. He was good. I liked him. But yeah, I mean, the Leafs only somehow scrape away with this game in a shootout after even going down in overtime, which what an overtime it was again. Wow. But it's 3-on-3. That's what the league did. I'm really happy they brought 3-on-3. I think it's way better than 4-on-4. It makes for a much more entertaining game, which is at the end of the day, the entire point of sports is for entertainment value. So I think for that, they hit it spot on. But I hate the shootout. Can't stand it. I wish they would just keep going 3-on-3, and I want to know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know. Do you guys like shootout? Because I really don't. And at least won in a shootout. And I hate the shootout. Just let them play 3-on-3. At least let it like be kind of hockey. You know what I mean? Like a shootout win is kind of like, to me, it's like not really like a hockey win. It's like, why couldn't you just finish that in overtime? You know what I mean? It was so entertaining. I'm sure they could have gone for another 5 minutes. It would have been fantastic. Someone would have scored. There could have been like 7 goals in that overtime. But yeah, that was another thing I wanted to talk about. I just shootout, not really my thing. I know it's kind of like a split reaction amongst like different fans in the league. Some of them love it, some of them don't. I'm not a fan of it. I think I would much rather extend to like golden goal overtime 3-on-3 because I don't think it would span that much longer either. I think it would go like max. Like you would get situations maybe that it goes to like 12 minutes, but I don't think 95% of overtime games make it that far if they were to. But that's a conversation for another day. Gary Bettman, if you're listening to me, take notes. Would be really nice if you could, make it end in a hockey game. But anyways, so that was the recap, right? Like, that's how you know it's the season, ladies and gentlemen. That's how you know. When I genuinely jumped up when they won that game. I didn't do that in the preseason. You didn't do that in the preseason. We both did that tonight. Huh? You know what I mean? Oh, it just feels wow. I'm just like it's the season just kind of feels like it came out of nowhere. I don't know. Especially with the weather we've been having in Canada recently. Oof. It went from like 28 degrees summer to like 4 days ago. It's just like, yeah, whoa. It's October. Let's bring that down to like 6. And then boom, here's the season. Just bam, there it is. So that was, yeah, just it was such a great feeling to see how this team managed to grab 2 points out of it. It was entertaining as hell. And I never want to watch them play like that ever again. That was, yeah. Let's keep it at the first game of the season. Let's let bygones be bygones, get the 2 points and fucking run. And don't ever play like that again. Okay? Because Toronto did not deserve those 2 points. They got it done. Not with a performance like that, guys. We're gonna need better. But it's the first game of the season. Let's just be happy we got the 2. I'm probably going a bit too hard. Like, you know what? I'm glad I did because I did preface this entire podcast by saying I probably would be doing this because I'm just excited to be talking about something. So I'm hitting every single point that I wanted to talk about. So that's just the way that it is. Something I noticed in the game, and I recognize this on my live stream. The Leafs changed their goal song. TSN announced it like right before the game started. So when the Leafs scored, and I didn't know this. So when the Leafs scored their first goal, Noah Gregor, I'm just listening in the background and I'm not hearing like what I want you got. Like I wasn't hearing that. And I was like, what the hell's going on here? Someone's like, what's that playing? And I'm like, you're right. It's not, that's not our goal song. And then all you hear is, I'm on the pursuit of happiness. And I'm like, what? When did this happen? Who announced this? I didn't know about that. But the Leafs have a new goal song, and apparently it's not their only one. I was talking to my dad about it. I'm like, apparently, yeah, this is apparently not their only one, but we'll see. I just find it kind of ironic how it's pursuit of happiness. Isn't that what we're all after here at Leafs Nation? Isn't that what we're chasing here? I think it was a pretty good song choice, pretty ironic, pretty cliche for the Leafs, but I like it. It's a really good song. I'm a huge EDM fan. Let me know, by the way, what kind of music you listen to? I want to know. Let me know. I'm a huge EDM fan. I love Avicii. I want to get to know you guys. That's what this podcast should be all about. We're talking about sports, but at the end of the day, it's because I want to make it a community. I want to get to know you guys. So let me know what kind of music you listen to. Anyways, I sidetrack a lot. You guys are going to notice that in coming episodes for sure. Probably already seen it. But overall, the Leafs get it done. Was it great? No. Was it stress-inducing? Absolutely. Do I want to see more out of them? Yep. But did they get the 2 points? Yes. And that's what matters. The result. It's a results business. You need to bring in the results. And they got it done tonight. Matthews put up 3. I am telling you guys, watch out for this guy. It's going to be exciting. I think he is going to pop off this season. I really hope I'm right. I really do hope I'm right. But, ladies and gentlemen, the season is here. There is another 81 games we're going to have to talk about. But it all started tonight. And the Leafs now put their record to 1-0. And the next game is going to be on Saturday. It's going to be interesting. Hopefully they actually start this game on time. But that being said, ladies and gentlemen, the season is here. You feel your pulse? Oh, I feel alive. I feel alive. On that note, thank you guys so much for tuning in to episode 6 of the SIG podcast, ladies and gents. I really hope you did enjoy it. If you did, please make sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications, and drop a comment. Let me know. I want to learn about you guys. Tell me anything about you, anything you want me to know, your thoughts on the podcast, your thoughts on the Leafs, your predictions, what kind of music you listen to. I don't care. Just leave me a comment and let me know something about you, because I want to get to know the people who listen to me, because I'm really thankful for it. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. Leafs win, and I'll see you in the next one. Producer, roll the tape. Peace out.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast with That Leafs Fan on YouTube, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.